All right. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. And I think I've seen people from all over the place here today. So that does apply. Um, so today is our League of Opportunities part two for December. Last night for me, early morning for Asia, we had the part one. And I think we have around four speakers confirmed that were able to join, four to five. And I would like to start just as a quick reminder, the speakers are going to have like around 7, 8 minutes to touch base on the topic, tell us about the industry, about their companies, and what they're looking for in the upcoming years, and how us as a global track can support them. And then eventually we can if we got some remaining time, we can definitely add others to introduce themselves. I would like to start with the one closer to me, Jaime Rivera from Saber Law. So Jaime, welcome. You were part of our Spanish call in November. The same with Erwin, and I told you both to come in for the League of Opportunity this time. So without further ado, Jaime, introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about what you're doing, your industry, and how we can help.
Hi, Cesar. Thank you once again for the opportunity, and nice to meet you. All the friends and fellow members of Global Chamber. Please, Cesar. Sometimes I get ahead of time, so just let me know when the time is close so that I can wrap it up. First of all, I would like to tell a little bit of myself. I'm an attorney here in Puerto Rico. I have been an attorney for over 12 years, and I have been both in the private and public sector. My current position is within the private sector at Saber LLC. Mainly, we are a full service firm, but mainly I'm in the group of gaming law. Why gaming law? Because in most of my experience at the public sector, I was a regulator of the gaming industry here in Puerto Rico. For those that doesn't know that Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. So basically, the gaming industry in Puerto Rico is pretty similar to those in the States and other U.S. jurisdictions in terms of the regulatory and legal framework, I mean. So, like I say, I'm mainly in the gaming industry. The gaming industry is a really exciting industry, and I'm not saying this because I'm in that industry. I mean, I'm saying because it's very dynamic. It involves legal aspects, commercial aspects, and it has a particularity that is a really global industry that you see players of all sizes having the opportunity to enter other regions or countries beyond theirs. So it's basically the same framework. The difference is going to depend on the specific laws and regulations and the way of doing business in the jurisdiction that you're considering entering into. Uh, anyone that has an interest of the industry, just you can feel free to reach me. Cesar, you're authorized to give my phone number. So, but getting back to the issue, the gaming industry for 2025 has a very exciting prospects in some regions and in some countries. Right now at Saber, I focus on Puerto Rico and the U.S. market, but also the Latin America market. In terms of the Latin America markets that are showing some good prospects for 2025, the biggest one is Brazil. Brazil, to over 200 million people living there, with a history of gaming that wasn't fully regulated. So for those entities that are looking to expand their business, Brazil is a great opportunity. Peru is also there as well, but although there are some changes in the tax code and tax regulation that apply to the industry, so you have to wait. Also, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Chile is going through changes. And like I said, Puerto Rico, which is a great jurisdiction, not only for the gaming industry, but for other industries as well, in terms that we are a mainly Hispanic population, but we are part of the United States, so our legal framework is really similar to those that are in the United States. And in the gaming industry is a good bridge to cross if you are thinking about going to the States in a future. Why? Because if you enter to Puerto Rico, you have to comply with the local gaming laws and regulations, but also with some federal laws and regulation that applies to the gaming industry that weren't made for the gaming industry, focus on the gaming industry, I'm sorry, I should say. But for example, some banking laws also applies to the gaming industry. So my point is that Puerto Rico has this combination of having a Hispanic population, so that will be attractive to maybe Latin American companies that can help you go and get into the U.S. markets, and also in the other way for those U.S. entities that are looking to expand in Latin America, you can basically have your product in an Hispanic population, but complying with the laws and regulations that applies to you in the U.S. So getting back to why I mentioned that the gaming industry is attractive, it's not only for the components of the gaming industry itself, but also to other entities or even persons that offer some services that they don't know that those services are required in the gaming industry. When you see, for example, the principle or most basic concept of the gaming industry is that you have an operator that is basically the responsible to receive the bets, pay to the players the prices, and you have some suppliers or vendors that are there to provide their products that so that the operators can comply with the regulations that applies to the industry. For example, you have technology industry and technology entities that maybe they are not aware that they could have a chance in the gaming industry. You can have financial institutions as well, and you can have other type of industries that maybe there are some entities that are already in that industry. Let's say, for example, the banking and financial industry. They offer a certain service in that industry, and they were created focusing on that industry, but they don't know or they are not aware that they have the chance to provide that same service to the gaming industry, obviously with some adjustments. So there is a huge, a great opportunity um, in the gaming market, not only in Puerto Rico, but also in Latin America. And Latin America is going through a process of getting fully regulated so that you, if you get into those countries that are fully regulated, you can be relaxed in terms of that you are operating in a country that is fully regulated in an activity that is not going to fire back at you in your country of origin. So in terms of what we are, looking or the strengths of being in the global chamber is just to let the message know that you can have, maybe you don't know it or you're not aware, but you can have a market opportunity in the gaming industry, not only in the US, Puerto Rico, or Latin America, also in Europe and in other places. This is a really deep technical industry. I just try to, for 10, 11, 15 minutes, try to give an overview. So if you guys have any question, I'm glad to answer them. And if a question arises to you after this meeting, feel free to reach Cesar, and Cesar, you can give even my cell phone that I'm happy to share with you and to answer any questions or inquiry that you may have. So I
Thank
don't know, guys, if you have any question.
thank you, Jaime. And any questions for the group?
Hi, Doug. Nice to see you. I didn't.
I I,
Hi
I
to
think
Doug.
I think I saw Jim moving the lips, but I wasn't sure.
Let me see.
All good, Jim?
Living in Florida, we've got Hard Rock and the Seminole
Yeah.
tribe. So if you're familiar with the business, you know exactly what's going on down here.
Well, it's kind of a unique case because they're operating under the compact for the tribes. So the Hard Rock Cafe offers gaming within a compact between the Seminoles and the state of Florida.
Well, I know. Yeah.
So under that compact, the Seminoles wanted to offer online sports betting as well. So I'm gonna try to be as simple as possible, but I was mentioning before that there are some laws that are federal laws or federal level laws that apply to the gaming industry, not because they were intended to the gaming industry, to only the gaming industry. And an example of what kind of a law is the Wire Act. The application of the Wire Act is that you are prohibited of having bets in sports betting, for example, between jurisdictions. So that's why in the United States, you only need, you only are required, you are required to only receive bets from the state that you are. So having said that, the Seminoles under the compact try to or ask for offer to expand their offer of sports betting, not to land-based, which is the sports betting that you do at the casino, but also to do it online. So in that term, some other operators in the Florida state that were looking to do sports betting, not only land-based but online, went and sued them, and they went to court. And without getting into the details, the Supreme Court is almost close to withhold the authorization of the sports betting, online sports betting at the Seminole. But Jim, this is more than 5 minutes answer, so you feel free
long
to
topic for sure.
reach out, and we can have a further conversation about this matter. I don't know if I answered to that completely, but I tried to summarize it as much as possible.
Well, as for everybody else living here, we got a pretty good idea, and Hard Rock has got the advantage of being global already on gambling. So they've done the Seminole try has done well.
Yeah, and one point is, and I
Jaime,
think that
Jaime, sorry to interrupt, Jaime.
oh
I
yeah,
think
I know, Cesar.
move forward with the others, and I
Yeah.
appreciate for bringing up Florida. And definitely make sure you're both in touch. First, I want to welcome Doug to the conversation. Thank you for joining us. And Doug, how you doing today? And
I'm
thanks again, Jaime.
I'm doing well. Thanks for kicking off the meeting. This is two straight League of Opportunities that the dog required walking, and for some reason, this 16-year-old dog took the two longest walks he's had in the last year. So we're as part of the holiday, our grandson, who some of you know, Luca, is in Tahoe snowboarding at 2 years old. So we're dog sitting this old dog, and so my schedule kind of got messed up. So sorry that I'm a little bit late. I'd like to risk the segue from gambling to healthcare. And Sally Pace is an amazing healthcare expert. Her connectivity into the industry, including on the payer side, and especially on the payer side, is really amazing. And she comes at it from several different angles. And so, Sally, thank you so much for your leadership, and thank you for sharing in advance your opportunities today. Would you have some time and be able to do that right now?
Absolutely. And thank you for letting me have the microphone. I'm thrilled about this because already through connections in the Global Chamber, we've been able to make tremendous headway in connections and getting them into in front of particularly the U.S. employer market. And I think everyone is aware, and somebody alluded to this earlier on the call, there is this influx of international solutions entering the U.S. market like never before. On the healthcare side. And there's also, so international drug sourcing would be an example. And there are also global employers who are seeking ways to better offer competitive benefits and solutions for their employees. And so our firm Connect Healthcare Collaboration, CHC for short, that is a mouthful, focuses on helping market to employers the solutions that so many of you bring into the market. And if it's okay, so being in marketing, I've created a brief deck that I'd love to share if I can have permission to do that.
Absolutely, you can. Is that a brick fake screen there in the back, or is that
Yes,
real?
it's my real back of my wall.
That's amazing. Great.
Thank you. We have a fun office. So I want to talk a little bit about where we are today. And like I said, we focus on employer-sponsored health plans because that's how the vast employed folks across the globe receive their benefits and receive access to healthcare. So as it stands today, as we round out 2024, a recent study of over 250 multinational companies found that just 27% of organizations align benefits programs with what their employees actually want. In the US in particular, studies show that 68% of employers believe that employees underutilize those services, benefits, and programs that they're making available. And at the same time, as this will not be a surprise to many of you, medical bills are the leading cause of personal bankruptcy. While it's not as high in all developed countries, it is still a significant factor to bankruptcies abroad. And as we head into 2025, the International Foundation of Employee Benefit Plans, which is also a mouthful, conducted a survey and did some benchmarking data. And they found, no surprise, that employers and plan sponsors continue to be focused on efforts that will address rising costs. As many of you, as either employers yourselves or providing solutions into the employer market, know, it's healthcare has become a financial burden that for many is at an unsustainable rate, and so that's what we are here to address and help bring solutions into the marketplace. As well as we look at 2025, we see that 40% of the drivers of cost increases are related to either catastrophic claims or high-cost medications. Sure, if you have turned on the television or looked at social media of any kind, you are familiar with the GLP-1 craze of all these fabulous drugs helping to lower weight loss. Also, as we head into 2025, nearly 70% of the respondents for the International Employee Benefits Foundation say that they are focused on using a combination of transparency tools and patient navigation. These emerging solutions, we believe, will pose a favorable impact in 2025. So, what we do to address that, our company is Connect Healthcare Collaboration, but we've built a platform called the Granite List. And if you have ever used OpenTable to find a restaurant or TripAdvisor to search a hotel, then you are familiar with the bones of what we have built. And what we've built is a platform that allows any solution that is bringing to the market a product, a program, a platform that addresses employer spend. So it could be workers' compensation, it can be legal components, it could be even, we have solutions on there that address executive relocation from one country to another. It can certainly be in the healthcare space, whether it's solutions that are reaching the employee by way of an on-site clinic or through another provider. But we've built this platform and it is free to create a profile and free to be found by benefits leaders across the globe. And so the invitation today is for all of you that have solutions that speak to workforce development, that speak to addressing medical plan, work comp, any type of voluntary benefit that can be offered, leadership development, recruitment, and retention. We have a place for you, and we hope that you will join us. And I'm hoping, did everyone see my screen?
We can, yep.
Because I'm going to take the QR code down soon. But so by all means, snap a picture or grab that QR code. And
we're going to put that up on LinkedIn later today too. So,
well, that makes me feel extra fancy on a Friday. So that is who we are and what we do. I'd love to know, how many of you, I think, like I said, I heard somebody at the beginning talk about solutions that they're bringing into, and healthcare solutions that they're bringing into the U.S. market.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So the question I had,
Sure.
just first of all, thank you for the presentation today. I just finished last night for these 5 Mexican clients in the medical device industry, a complete study of the forecasting for the next 5 or 10 years of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
What seems to be the trends that I've noticed from the research we finished last night is that there is a very strong movement of individuals like employees or patients or applicants to actually bring the part of the healthcare at home. That is providing digitization of, for example, blood test made at home, diabetes, sugar testing, et cetera, et cetera. So there seems to be a tremendous amount of effort to bring the delivery of solutions to homes from hospitals. And the reason for that, because typically hospitals are very expensive, number one. And number two is there seems to be a very high percentage of sickness and illness that are derived by entering a hospital with all sorts of viruses. So they bring it at home. And then the other is the influence of AI. So if you can address the two, perhaps the home movement of medical use, and the second one would be how can AI help you and help us?
Well, first of all, what I heard you say is hospitals are nasty and gross, which is not a shock. So you're absolutely right. I think there's this perfect storm. And for those of you that follow the U.S. news, you may have seen recently a tragic murder that occurred in U.S. from one of the leaders of one of the carriers in the United States, CEO of a large insurance carrier. I think that across the world, people are tired of those rising costs. So the digitization, the personalization, and you hit it square on the head, cost containment. I can perform a certain procedure or test by myself or with the assistance of, so we talked about navigation tools. That is a huge component. And that's really interesting because what we're seeing, between 2000 to 2023, there was this huge escalation of complete reliance on platforms, chatbots, AI. But now what we are starting to see is a marriage of both individuals, so platforms, and people. And so when we talk about navigation, it's not only using AI tools, but coupling that with clinical navigators as well, which we actually we have on staff. We have nurses that help guide the patients that need the most support in a different business line. But yes, all of those are tremendous factors, with cost, unfortunately, because of the crushing cost of healthcare, leading the way.
And what you're pointing out is something, outstanding. Like, for example, I live in Sedona, which is 2.5 hours north of Phoenix, but my senior cardiologist is back at the Mayo Clinic in Scottsdale. And it was really interesting. The last time I've seen him is about 8 months ago. But the testing and the communication has been monthly regarding lipid control, cholesterol, and all this sort of stuff, which in the old days you would have to drive for 4 hours, et cetera,
Right.
et cetera. So that kind of revolution in the healthcare industry, especially the Mayo Clinic, has been absolutely awesome.
Yes, definitely. It's been a game changer, especially for workers that are either in rural communities or hourly wage earners that simply, to take several hours out of your day is impacting the groceries you're able to bring home as well. So definitely a shift to the positive to address those issues.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I know I'm likely out of time, so if I'm going to drop my email in the chat in case anyone.
That would be great. While you're doing, it's too late. Frank Lieber, I think, was dropping off. He's an AI expert, and to address that question about AI, I thought we might have a show.
Oh, it's not my
thought. Frank, are you still there by any chance? Probably not.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I really need to leave. It's the goose dinner. The goose is waiting. So It's
Okay.
late in Switzerland. I'd really like to take this up next year.
Could you just take 20 seconds and have us know who you are?
Okay, yes. Hello, everybody. Frank Lieber here out of the Zurich, Switzerland. CEO and co-owner of Evolve Leadership Dynamics. What we're doing is we're working on leadership development programs in times of AI. We're seeing that the leaders right now are overwhelmed with this technological change. And that's what we're doing right now. We're getting very, very good response, which is pretty cool. So we're going to be presenting in Davos. We're presenting at various places. We'll be at the Thunderbird event, Doug, the global alumni event in April. So you'll see us speaking all over the place this year.
Okay, very good. We'll see you in April. Thanks for.
All right. Thanks. Happy
Enjoy
holidays,
the food.
everybody.
Dankeschön.
Yes. Dankeschön. Tschüss.
Meine Mutter ist Schweizerin von Bern.
Oh, grüezi.
Ja, Dankeschön.
Very nice.
Thanks, guys. So, Sally, that was great. So thank you for sharing. And I think you've put your information in the chat, but please continue to do that. And if anybody has any additional follow-up with Sally, please do so. It's a fascinating topic, an amazing area to be involved in. And it's important that we've got leaders like Sally to clean up and to improve and to progress in this industry that we all know has challenges, but also ultimately we have a big stake with to be able to be better. We are going to shift now to another country in healthcare, in Argentina. We've got Erwin Mattinger, who of Meditar is a longtime member of Global Chamber, and some of you may remember or have heard the story of their interest in becoming a telemedicine giant and the challenges that it took to get there through Global Chamber, and it worked out. And not only worked out for them, overall, continue their success in healthcare and health services in Argentina and beyond. They've got other services now. So this program is the League of Opportunities. We're going to wrap up at the top of the hour. Our goal here is to hear from people around the world that are members of Global Chamber that have some interesting activities and stories and things that we may be able to hook into directly or indirectly. Erwin is one of those fascinating people and a soccer fan and attended the World Cup Championship game. So on the picture of seeing your smiling face when Argentina won was priceless. What would you like to share today? Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Doug. Hello, everyone. Cesar and all the people here. Thanks for the time and the opportunity. Yes, 2 years ago, we became world champions in soccer, thanks to Messi. That's another topic, but I want to be brief with my story. I am Erwin Mattinger from Rosario, Argentina. I'm CEO of Meditar. As Doug was mentioning before, we are a healthcare company with more than 30 years in providing services and solutions here in Argentina. Basically, we have two sites in Rosario and Buenos Aires, our capital city. And first of all, our company started as a health insurance company that that works like a hub, like a network between different medical centers in the whole country. Argentina is a very not that huge like the US, but it's a long country in South America. And until today, in the current times, we have some challenges to provide the best healthcare treatments and high complexity solutions to our patients all around the country that are living in some towns, small cities in some states, and they need to move themselves to Buenos Aires, for example, or to Rosario, the main cities, to have the best quality solutions and treatments. Besides of that, as Doug was mentioning, a few years ago, we implement our own telemedicine platform, which is an open, worldwide open application for mobile phones or computer, and we have a bunch of different specialties and doctors that are working in our platform and providing solutions and attending patients from South America. So for us, as you were mentioning before, Sally, one of the biggest challenges that we are having in the last year, and we are sure that we are going to face also in the upcoming year, is the high cost of the medications that we try to face and avoid with our efforts. Nothing easy. But what we want to share here is that we are looking to connect with more stakeholders like HMOs or health insurance company from US or on other countries also that wants to get involved in our platform of telemedicine, and not only that, but also to promote and encourage people to trust in what is called the medical tourism, which compares our costs are more affordable to a surgery, neurosurgery, cardiovascular surgery, or some specific high complexity treatments and surgeries in Argentina are quite cheaper than in US, at least. That is one of the research that we were doing in the last years. So I am open to connect apart with all of you, of course. I'm going to share my personal contact data here, of course. So I'm really encouraged that we can connect with people from all over the world and listen to provide more solutions to our healthcare system.
Erwin, I have a question since I'm in the medical industry.
Of course.
I was working with a client in Turkey on medical tourism. They're finding their clients mostly, believe it or not, in Africa. But one of the major problems you have with medical tourism is the ability to provide medical insurance coverage. Because when you go to a foreign market, the question is, first of all, what's going to happen after I receive the treatment, hair care, dental, cosmetic, etc. But the question there is, how do you, let's say you have clients from the US. I do work with Dental Life, with Transamerica, etc. If we send you clients, how are they protected after they get treatment with your medical deliveries?
Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, we are always talking with our legal services that they have to take care about that and to secure that the treatment before and after the surgery or the medical center, that they are covered by this health insurance. That is something in this country nowadays. We are expecting that the government are taking more, open more the boundaries, and the regulations are not so restricted, so we can afford that. That is something not confirmed yet. We are waiting for some news and regulation from our government, and that is something that we are working on. That's why we have still is one of the biggest challenge, how to secure and to track this insurance and this coverage of the healthcare on the patients that are coming to Buenos Aires. That is our first point of approach. But yes, we have to really work on that and follow that point.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sally, is that an area that you have been involved in? I saw your text about the tourism.
So we have medical tourism is growing tremendously, and so employers adopt it in the U.S. at least as what's called a carve out, and they have direct contracts. That's another buzz phrase. Direct contracts with these providers. Oftentimes, they'll allow U.S. physicians to fly with them. But I'm not sure how you're set up, Erwin, but it is very much a growing trend. And there are lots of groups already represented on the Granite List that are bringing medical tourism either into the United States or to other countries.
Fantastic. Well, we'll make sure that you're connected if you're not already.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that. So I'm going to share my contact data, and we can talk about it, Sally, if you want.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Erwin. Really appreciate you sharing today. How's your father doing?
He's doing well. He was traveling to Buenos Aires. I'm currently in Rosario office, but he was tired and he said to me, I'm not going to have time today to share. So send my regards to Doug and all the people. So he was just saying hello to all of you.
So one of my favorite memories of Meditar was many years ago taking, and I think you were there when we went to Andreoli's, the Italian market in Scottsdale, which I'm betting Professor Ansis knows well. It's the best Italian restaurant in Scottsdale, I think. And I did not know that your dad and maybe you and certainly Ricardo speak Italian and eat Italian for sure. We enjoyed an amazing Italian meal in Scottsdale. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember that. That was amazing. It was a good one. We have a picture of that.
Molte grazie, Erwin, Signor Erwin.
Prego, prego. So you have many languages: German, Italian. What else? I heard you.
French, un poquito de español también, sí.
Spanish will be easy for me.
I was thinking Argentina, so let's go to a meat restaurant, and I think I was told no meat, only how about Italian, and that was it. The international language of business is usually over a good meal, and that was a lot. Thank you very much.
That was a good example. Thank you all of you for the time sharing.
Thank you. Let's continue to go around the room, and Frederick is here, and Frederick actually is familiar with Arizona. I think we met through maybe his work with the state of Arizona. Now he represents the state of Montana, and he's going to give us an update on what's going on. We'll also talk about CES, which I imagine the Consumer Electronics Show that either Frederick or his team are going to be part of when he's completed. Frederick, how are you? What's going on in Montana? What are you working on?
Hi, Doug. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone today. Thank you so much for your time. And I have a small PowerPoint I'd like to share if that's going to be permitted.
If it's too small that we can't see, then that's not. As long as we can see it, it's okay.
Sure. So let me hit my share screen here.
Where are you zooming in from today?
I'm actually visiting family in the Orlando area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in the world of global business, as everyone knows, you never know where people actually might be. Right?
Exactly.
Yes, I work for the state government of Montana as a business attraction manager. Here are my contact details. And as Doug mentioned, I had prior work for the state of Arizona, another wonderful state in America. In preparing for today's talk, I just wanted to share just some highlights of how we treat the business community in Montana. And I am a big believer in sharing a good quote that explains a policy. One of the things that makes Montana special is how we treat the business leaders. And my quote in that regard comes from Maya Angelou. This is really core to who we are within the state government, right? I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that is really a big driving force on how this state government feels about our business community. And when I went to business school, a quote from the late Walter Wriston, former chairman and CEO, capital goes where it is welcome and stays where it is well treated. And I mention that because there's a real competition within the United States, when states competing for business and investment opportunities. Some states treat business investment better than others. So we aim to be a very good steward and embrace a good capital mentality to support the business owner. So as I found, Doug, working with you, we have members all over the world. I don't make the assumption that everyone knows where Montana is. So here we go. Montana is the 4th largest state in America. It's the only state that borders 3 Canadian provinces, if you're looking for a little trivia, okay? But that's where it's located within the country. In preparing for this, I was asked to talk about trends, American trends, And how can Montana possibly be a solution? So there's been a lot of discussion about tariffs, potential new tariff policy as a result of the new incoming Trump administration. So that is certainly a threat for certain business investment. Our response to that, they are foreign or free trade zones within Montana. There are 3 which can help lessen the burden of any new incoming tariff policy. So that is a Montana asset that could be leveraged. Some companies abroad who are choosing to invest in America, but don't have the ability to set up their own factory or office, what they might want to do instead is to find a partner, a contract manufacturing partner in America to manufacture their goods. So we're helping foreign companies find a Montana corporate partner if they don't have the ability to set up their own manufacturing. Last, I would hate to miss out. Montana is one of just a few handful of states. We have a very proud Native American tribal cultures. And Native American tribal corporations have certain tax treaty privileges. So again, if you're looking to lessen the impact of a potential tariff, we have some wonderful Native American communities within Montana that are, as I like to say, open for business too. So just a strategy I'm trying to point out. Another shift. Some young people are not wanting to go or live in the giant urban cities anymore. They're moving to places that are more rural, like Montana. Not every young person is doing this, but enough that it's starting to become somewhat of a trend. And my response to this, to the business community, I would tell the business owner, if you want to attract and retain talent, you need to be located where talent wants to be. So that's a migration trend that's happening in America that I think Montana could be an answer for some young people. Next opportunity, AI and data centers. I just found out today that the federal government is thinking of using federal-owned land to establish AI data centers. Just today, I found this out. So I did some research that Montana has about 27 million acres of federal land available. We are a top 10 state for renewable energy. So we have our clean energy state. We have a top 10 state for the least number of natural disasters. So again, if you're thinking AI data center, you don't want to locate in certain parts of the country, maybe, right? And we are an energy choice state. You get to choose your energy provider. So this is just Montana's response to the growth of the AI data center this year. One of the big consulting services we offer when a foreign business owner is looking to invest in America, they would like to have some discussions arranged for them with strategic meetings. We offer what's called a Montana red carpet tour. It's completely customized to the needs of that specific business, whether it be workforce, utility companies, business development opportunities. It's catered to the needs of that company executive. So that's something that we're very proud to offer. The types of global chamber members that we're hoping to connect, Montana is a small business state. We are an SME state, as I often love to say. So we are hoping to connect with other small to medium-sized business leaders within the next 36 months. And we're targeting the sectors such as professional service, manufacturing, technology, or energy related would be the top 4 sectors that we have the highest interest in. Little checklist, as you know, when a business leader is looking to invest in America, there's a lot to consider. So I just put together this quick high-level list of all of the different bullet points that need to be considered. when a company is thinking of a new location. Oh, and Caesar was asked me, oh, could I offer anything? Certainly, in the spirit of the holidays. So for the vacation planners on the line today, of course, I represent Montana. I, of course, have to mention a tourism site. So if you'd like to get a free digital book about the best 100 places to visit in Montana, just email me. But if for the business side of you, I have created a list of all the links and internet resources that I personally love to keep track of trends and policy changes in the world of site selection. I'd be happy to email those links out as well. So just send me an email, fband@mt.gov. And I put that also in the chat too. And I'm happy to answer some questions if there's enough time.
You're amazing. Thank you very much. Does anybody have a quick question before we do a roundtable?
Hey, this is Tamer Flores.
Yeah, Tamer, go ahead, please.
Very quick. So I'm here in Orlando. I live here. So if you want to meet, we can just take some time.
Oh,
And
cool.
I would like to know if you can take me to Yellowstone, because I've seen that series and I want to see the ranch by myself.
Yeah, so the Yellowstone Ranch is actually in a place called Darby, Montana, Darby, and it's called the Chief Joseph Ranch is the official name. Chief Joseph Ranch. It's in Darby. You can on the main road and you could drive right up to the ranch, and a lot of people stop and take pictures. It's a private ranch.
Looks beautiful. So let's connect and by email, and maybe we can meet if you are here for a few weeks.
Yep. Please send me an email, fband@mt.gov, and then we can respond. And thank you so much for that.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Frederick, and ciao, Erwin. Ho spedito una email per te. Ci vediamo dopo.
So many great opportunities in Montana on the tourism side and on the business side.
Hey, Doug. Thank you so much. This is Pankaj. So I already sent an email to Frederick. We are already working, so probably you know that, for AI data center and everything. So it is great. So we went to Yellowstone and all this. So I drove 90, 100, first time in my life. So I know Montana. So definitely we will work together and we try to help you. Two parts. First part is funding, and the preliminary part is risk and feasibilities. We provided 2 services from our group of companies. So we'll working with Frederick in the offline. I don't want to waste time, everyone. And thank you so much, Frederick. We are looking for someone from Montana to help us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think one of the points there is a good one. I think Montana is a bucket list state, especially Yellowstone is unbelievable. The Grand Tetons are in Wyoming, but still that whole area there is extraordinary. And my wife and I once were driving across Montana, and we were driving for almost a half hour, and it was at nighttime, and there were no cars behind us, no cars ahead of us, and we weren't driving 90 or 100 that time, although we've done that other places. We were probably only doing about 70 or 80 miles an hour. We drove for a half hour and didn't see a single other car, single other place. It was mind-boggling. It's an amazing place to clear your head. And Frederick, you have a clear head probably partially because of spending time in the state. So thank you for sharing today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Doug.
Bill Edwards is in the room, and when Bill's in the room, we love to hear from Bill. Bill, do you have a moment just to say hi? And I saw today about your end of year review of the world, and where can you be most successful in putting a business? Do you have a moment just to say hi?
Yes, good morning or afternoon. We published our latest quarterly global view chart this week, which ranks 40 countries as places to do business. It's free. It's on our website, edwardsglobal.com. the ranking of countries has dramatically changed since November the 5th. After the election in the United States, tremendous changes are going to be made as far as doing business in certain countries, not only due to tariffs, but the fact that this year, there were national elections in 71 countries. 71 countries, 49% of the world's population, 53% of the world's GDP. And no matter where you are, elections have consequences. And typically, when there's a change in a country, you'll see more or less taxes, more or less regulation. So it's really important to take a very close look at countries now, post all these elections this year, and determine where you should be putting your dollars as far as, or your yen or your euros as far as entering new countries. That's part of what we do for a living. And but we do publish our Global View chart free online. We do particular ones for particular brands, but it's at edwardsglobal.com. Thanks, Doug.
How many years have you been doing international trade?
This is my 50th year. In 1974, I was in the oil industry, and my first assignment overseas was in Tehran, Iran, 1974.
Amazing. You're all amazing. Rich Wolverton is amazing as well, and he knows food, and he knows the food industry. Rich, what's going on in your world? Anything we should know?
Yeah, thanks, Doug. First off, I'm at Edwards Global, and I'm looking for the article, and I just want to make sure that I find it. There's one in October. Is that the one?
Now you should be able to go pull down the little panel that says resources and go to Global View, and it should have the most recent Global View it did yesterday.
Okay.
Hopefully it still does today.
All right. I might be in the wrong place. Thanks for that. Yeah. So my company, we work with companies that want to get into food service distribution in the United States. Comes off my 40 years of experience. My partners have equivalent amount of experience in food distribution. And then we just help companies find their way through due to kind recommendations from Cesar and Doug. We have a couple global chamber members that we do a little bit of work with, and it's a lot of fun. It's a passion, and who doesn't like to talk about food? So, but we're here to help with all that. So I'll keep it short. Thanks, Doug.
Does anybody else have anything before we have about 2 minutes before we close the room? I don't think I did mention it though, but I should. At CES, if any of you are at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, please join us on Tuesday the 7th. We have 5 events that we know about so far that we're part of or we're organizing. And the first one is on the 7th with the city of Incheon and the city of Phoenix. Both mayors will be there. And so if you're interested in US, Korea activity, please join us. Also, the CEO of Kubota, big tractor company in Japan, is got a big presentation the next day that we're part of as well. And so if ag or technology or Korea or just CES in general are of interest to you, please let us know. And one of the 5 events that we're part of undoubtedly will be something of interest to you. Anybody else have anything, please?
I have a question for Frederick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robert.
Okay, I have a question for Frederick. How has the Yellowstone TV show, influenced people's view of Montana?
Well, simply, Montana has been found. That we call it the Yellowstone effect. Some people in Montana felt it was a very positive thing for the state. Another group of Montana said it was not so good. They didn't want to be found. But overall, the film industry is important to Montana because it helps with our tourism.
Yeah, the Big Sky was Big Sky filmed there as well, that television program?
That I'm not sure about.
I thought some of the scenes definitely were there, and Big Sky is, known for Montana. So thank you. Tamer, did you have a question?
Yeah, very quick. I'm working with new startup for real estate. It's called New Estate Only, and it only works with new constructors, and they're looking for funding. So if you guys know anyone that would invest in real estate startups for funding and create a new platform that is amazing, please contact me.
Okay, maybe let's get you connected to Redium as well. You may not know those folks, so that'll be one introduction. Two more quick things, and then turn it over to Cesar to close the room.
Thank you.
The January 16th, Global Chamber hosts a conversation about automation, autonomous technologies, and it involves Kubota, who's a new sponsor of Global Chamber, and also Waymo and some other companies I had not heard of before, but there's a hub of autonomous technology that's in Phoenix, part of which is because of the weather and the grid system, and you can test cars, and there's Waymo driverless vehicles there, and so that'll be the 16th. If you're interested in change management, Thunderbird has a course, and they're offering a 50% off for Global Chamber members. If you're interested in that, it'll be in the newsletter. It was in the newsletter on Monday. It'll be in the newsletter in the next couple weeks. If you want more information about that, please let me know. You can sign up, and it's a great course. Cesar, what final comments do you have, please?
Thanks, Doug, and thanks for all the presenters, Jaime, Sally, Frederick, and Erwin. It's been a great call. We're on top of the hour, so I just wanted to mention I've been helping Nicole, the lady who's running our Trinidad and Tobago chapter in the Caribbean, and they put me to work early in the year, and now we'll have an event on January 3rd about Trinidad and Tobago opportunities there, and I've just been helping them to attract more people. So I just wanted to mention some of the top industries covered: manufacturing, tourism, international conference, renewable energy, and sustainable agriculture and fishing, among others. So if anyone interested in the region, not only in Trinidad, but the whole Caribbean, feel free to join us on the 3rd. Thank you, Doug, and thanks everyone. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas time and a great 2025.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas to all.